Well, so there you have it. Press conference just wrapped up. That was Grand Rapids Police Chief Eric Winstrom. We saw 4 different videos there of the scene of what happened last Monday, April 4th. We saw body cam footage. We saw dash cam footage, both from the officer involved in this shooting. We saw Ring doorbell footage from the neighbor who was across the street from when this happened. We also saw cell phone footage that showed the best angle, and that was captured by the passenger of Lyoya's car. Wow.
It's the moment that we have been waiting for. Yeah. It's the moment the family has been waiting for, certainly the community, wanting to know what happened on Monday, April 4th. So we can just kind of go through these. The first view that we saw was the dash camera video as the officer pulled up to the scene. We saw the car pulled over on the side of the road. This is around the area of Griggs and Nelson around 8 a.m. on Monday morning. Yeah. We heard the officer get out and tell Lyoya to stay in the car. He had gotten out of the vehicle. We heard him ask if he speaks English, and he said yes. And then we heard him ask, do you have a license? Where's your license? And Lyoya said it was in the car. But we don't understand why. It appears that Lyoya just kind of started pulling away from the vehicle and running away from that officer. And that is when the struggle that we heard about, that's when the struggle began. During that struggle, we heard a taser deployed a few times. We heard the officer say, let go of the taser, so it appeared that they were struggling over that weapon. Again, the dash camera video doesn't have the best view. A lot of this incident happens off to the left side of the screen. And then we heard that gunshot.
Yeah, and then after that we saw the body cam footage, which didn't last very long, because as we learned from Grand Rapids Police Chief Eric Winstrom, if one of the buttons on that body camera is held down for more than 3 seconds, it turns off. And we saw there that it disconnected before you could hear any gunshots go off. And so the assumption there from Chief Winstrom is that during the struggle, he was either pressed up against Lyoya's body or some other object for 3 or more seconds. And so the body camera footage shut off after that. Then you saw surveillance footage from across the street captured by the Ring doorbell camera of the person who lives over there. And then that image, though, after you heard the tasers go off, got blurred pretty quickly, so you couldn't see much from that. But again, the most important footage here, which is why Chief Winstrom said he purposely decided to wait and hold off on releasing any footage, was because he wanted to make sure that he had this 4th video that was captured. We now know that it was the cell phone footage taken by the passenger of Lyoya's car. And so once he said that he had that and received that, he was ready to release everything all at once.
And that video showing the moment that we saw the officer on top of Lyoya struggling with him, and then ultimately hearing that shot, seeing that shot, again, graphic video that you can watch right now on our Facebook page or website. Of course, viewer discretion is advised. Our Marisa Oberly was inside that press conference asking Chief Winstrom some of the hard questions about why the officer has not been named and if the officer will be identified at some point. We want to go live to her downtown if we can to get a recap of what else came out of that press conference. Marisa?
Yeah, Janice and Max, we learned quite a bit of new information during that press conference. Like you said, we saw multiple angles of the video, or multiple video clips of the interaction between Patrick Lyoya and that Grand Rapids police officer. But there are still some questions left, namely being, why is that officer not being identified? Chief Eric Winstrom says that they do not have plans to identify who that officer is at this time. He cited the ongoing investigation and the need for the criminal process to basically just continue to basically the ongoing criminal investigation. He said that is why they cannot name the officer at this time. I asked him about it. Go ahead and take a listen to it. And apologies, I thought we were going to play a soundbite of Chief Winstrom answering as to why he was not. But if we want to go ahead and toss on over, Kent County Commissioner Robert Womack is doing an interview right now. My colleague Julie Dunmeyer is currently interviewing him. We can go ahead and toss to that.